anybody that comes into this house, and especially if you have kids, you know that having a good laundry room makes such a big difference. And so that is why we wanted to add this money in here, and because we know we're going to get it back plus some on this project. Now, all right, so let's keep going here. We're going to go ahead and take a look into our living room space. So remember, it's sort of a mirror image on both sides between our dining room space that's by the kitchen and then across this wall here going into our living room space. All right, so now we're in our living room space here. And if you remember from our previous video, this wall, all these walls here had paneling that went all the way across. And so what we did is we went ahead and removed that paneling off the walls and replaced it with sheetrock and then matched the texture, which is a roll-on texture throughout this entire house. And so now instead of having that paneling, which is such an outdated look, we have solid sheetrock everywhere throughout this house, making it feel a lot more modern. And we also matched, the ceiling was in good shape. We didn't have to do much of the ceiling, but we want to match that texture. What you don't want is to have a roll-on texture, which is an older way of doing things on the ceiling, and then have a, more of an orange peel modern texture on the walls. It just does not match that well. And so we did do the same roll-on texture on the walls, so everything has a nice match, coherent look throughout the whole house. And so I really like how this space came out here. It just looks very updated, very nice in here. And so let's go ahead and keep moving. All right, so now stepping into our foyer area here, we're right by the front door. Of course, we're always on this house, starting in the back door and working our way in just because of the way the project is set up here. But what I wanted to show you is if you look behind me here, you may remember this wall is the wall that looks into our kitchen area right behind here. And so before, there was these two little windows or so, and I asked you, should we go ahead and close those windows off or should we leave them open? And most of your comments and the suggestions that I got said the best thing we should do is close that off, because who needs a window looking into your kitchen? So I went ahead and took that suggestion here. We closed this wall off, and I'm really happy that we did, because it does give a nice look here to where it's very clean, and it guides you into that dining room space, which once you turn that corner there, then you'll take a good look into the kitchen and be part of that space as well. And so I'm very excited about that. I think this worked out really well here. Now you will see behind me here, all the painting is complete in the house, but I do have a little punch list item here because this brick was supposed to be painted a white to match our trim color. And so this is gonna be something I'm gonna get with my contractor today. Make sure he gets back over here and gets those painters to throw some white paint on here, because I just think it's gonna be great to have this match the trim color and give it that pop here on that brick when you walk in. And of course we'll go with some plants and things like that in here. Maybe some pops of color. I think it'll be really, really, really nice. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and head down the hallway here. Hallway has been painted. Of course, if you've seen the floors here, we haven't quite got to the floors yet, but our crew should be starting no later than tomorrow and getting some nice vinyl planks throughout this entire house. And if you haven't used vinyl planks yet, that is such a great material. Whether you're using it for a flip house or a rental property, it is very durable, scratch resistant, water resistant, and you can get it for a great price. And so why go buy laminate that you potentially might have issues with when you could spend the same price on a vinyl plank that looks great, looks like real wood, and has so many great benefits? And so if you haven't yet, make sure you look into vinyl planks for all of your projects. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at this hallway bathroom. All right, so you can see in this bathroom here, we did a whole lot of nothing. That's right, the only thing we really did in here was throw some paint on the walls. As I mentioned before, I'm trying to keep the budget down in certain areas of this house because I wanted to add more money into making the layout better, so that way it would attract those buyers. Now, the bathroom here, of course, if it would have been in bad condition, completely just destroyed, or nothing in there at all, we would have went and remodeled it from top to bottom, just like we normally do. But in this case, even though it's outdated, it's in good shape. The tile's in good shape, the sinks are in good shape, the faucets are in good shape. So even though it's outdated, it's not in bad condition. It's usable, and it's going to be clean, especially once we get done. And so for this house, I decided to go ahead and save money on the bathroom, put more into the kitchen and to the adding additional square footage to help the layout on this house. And so that was a decision I made on this one. And on some of your projects, you're going to have to find ways to, fit everything that you want to do into your budget. And so even though I may have wanted to really put some money into this bathroom, I know putting money into this bathroom would take away from other areas, and I may not get that money back just because I know the values of the houses in this neighborhood. If I was to put an extra $5,000 into this bathroom, I don't think I could sell the house for $5 more than I have planned in order to make up for it. And so make sure you look at all of your numbers on every single project so you can make the same type of decision. And if you have trouble looking at numbers and trying to figure out, hey, how much is it going to cost to a bathroom? How much is it going to cost to a kitchen? How much is it going to cost to flooring? I have no idea. Electrical, plumbing, all these things. How am I supposed to know the cost of these? Well, if you see the link down below in the description or hop on over to empireyourlifestore.com, I actually have a tool called the Renovation Calculator that is made for you. That's right. You can pick up a tool today that allows you to download it to your computer. You can use it on your Dropbox, from your phone, wherever you have your device with you. And you can go ahead and input, how much electrical you're doing, how many square feet of plumbing, how much sheetrock you're fixing, all the different parts of your project to figure out a rough estimate of what your costs might be. And so I think this is a very important tool, especially if you're not familiar with construction and construction related costs. And so remember, check that link out down below or go to empireyourlifestore.com to get your very own copy. And there's some other great tools there as well you may want to check out at the same time. Let's go ahead and finish the tour. All right, so stepping into our bedrooms here, you can see, besides paint and the demo and all it was doing, not a whole lot else has been done in here. We still got to come in and trim out, our electric. You can see here, I don't have a switch plate on here, which our electrician should be here a little later this week to go ahead and get all of our plates on. He's going to finish installing our can lights, and there's a few fixtures throughout the house that we're going to be updating as well. One of which is in the master bedroom here. You can see this is sort of an old, outdated green fan that we need to go ahead and get rid of. The other bedrooms actually had a brushed nickel fan, or more of a modern updated look fan, and so we can leave those, but this master bedroom one, for whatever reason, they had a green one in here. So I got a fixture. We're going to swap that one out with a really nice fan. So for your master, always try and use your better fixtures in your master bedroom versus your small bedrooms. And if you don't have fans in your small bedrooms already, I'd even recommend go with the small dome ones, because a lot of new construction might do the same exact thing, and it's just a totally new thing. If they want to have a fan later, they can do so, and you can save that money off your budget by not installing a $150 fan. I'd rather put a $20 dome, but if the fan's already there, there's no sense in replacing a good quality. Alright, so our bedroom, our master bedroom, again, the wheels aren't done just yet. We're going with that final plank, but they're really good. And I always, when I project, the final plank or wood product, whatever we're doing, the main living area of the house, I usually run that down the hallway and also into the master bedroom. Then for the two small bedrooms, or 3 or 4 small bedrooms in the house, we'll usually go with the carpet, because usually they're really big and a lot better than the carpet in the bedroom versus the vinyl or the wood product. But for this house, in this area, I decided to go into the vinyl plank throughout the entire house. And what I'm thinking is that for some reason, this house does not sell, we can't find a good buyer for it, this neighborhood makes a great rental market, or a great rental property in this market. And so having the vinyl planks throughout the whole house will help me a lot if this property ends up being a rental property, 3, 4, 6 months from now. And so I'm sort of planning ahead as a backup just in case. And keep in mind too, it makes it a lot easier on the contractor if they're able to just run through with the same material throughout the entire house. And so that's what I decided to do here. Remember, I'm trying to cut those costs, make things quick and easy, because I wanted to add that additional money into that additional square footage and those bump outs that we did in the laundry room and also the mudroom. And so I thought that was very important in getting this house to the best place that it possibly can. All right, so the only thing that we have left really in this house to take a look at is our master bathroom, which really is not much to look at all, because again, just like the hall bath, we decided to go ahead and keep the master bath in the shape it's in because it's not, in bad shape. It's a little bit outdated, but it can be cleaned, freshened up. We already did a little paint in there. And so I think we're gonna go ahead and roll with that bathroom just like the hall bathroom and do it the same exact way. Just leave it the same, make it clean, and I think we'll still be able to sell this house. Now, you may be saying, well, hey, just go ahead and add it in there, maybe it'll help or blah, blah, blah. I look at it like this. If it's good shape, it's just outdated, we're gonna go ahead and clean it up. And when I go to sell it, maybe I offer that as a concession. If a buyer comes in and says, hey, Kody, I absolutely love the whole entire house. I love your open floor plan dining room and your kitchen. I love your fixtures. I love everything about this house, except for your bathrooms are outdated. At that point, I may say, look, go ahead and make me an offer based on the price that I'm looking for, which on this house, I'm going to be shooting for about 165 to 170,000, which is the top of the market. But we're doing such nice things in this house, I'm going to try and push it to that. But again, being at the top of the market, they may come in and hammer me for those bathrooms. And if they do, I may offer a $5,000 concession to go toward either their closing costs or just on the backside to help them go ahead and renovate those bathrooms themselves. And so, instead of getting 165 or 170 on this house, I may only get 160 or 165, but I don't have to touch the bathrooms. And so, it saves me a little bit of work and time and effort. They get to pick out what they want. So kind of becomes a win-win. So, and I'm not taking the risk of doing the bathrooms and not getting that money back. Because in that case, I'd be getting an offer and knowing that it's going to be a done deal. And so the numbers sort of balance out in that way. And so that's something very important to think about when you're looking at all those different numbers. And I'm not opposed to also if they come in and say, you know what, we don't really know how to do construction. We don't want to mess with remodeling a bathroom. Can you do it for us? And I would tell them, absolutely. We are just going to work it into the price of the house, which will help me to get that 165 or 170, because what I will do is say, all right, look, it's going to cost me about $5,000. So we need to go ahead and make sure that price is at the top of the market, because your property is going to be 100% remodeled. And so that's another way to do it as well. So keep that in mind for all of your projects. And so I think that does it for our tour here today on Calendula Street. And so I hope you enjoyed my renovation update on this property and, a couple of nuggets that maybe you can use on your very own projects. And as always, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button down below so you can become a part of this great community. Leave me some comments, share this video and other videos with others that may need to see it as well. And as always, just continue to get out there and build your empire. Hey, I hope you enjoyed all of this great content here. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button down below to become a part of this great community. And if you want to see more videos just like this one, look over to the side here, because they're exactly what you need to see next to continue to build your empire.